Yo, JD here, Limitless, and we are back on F1 2021 as always, and we are back once again continuing our Hotlap and setup series. Just a day delay on this track because you will see here, and if you didn't see by one of my short videos yesterday, this is my worst track in the game. And I've always had good races around Monza, but in terms of the one lap pace, it's a track where you just have to commit so much to these slow speed corners, and slow speed corners are not really my friend. High speed change of direction is definitely what suits me the most, and I just really struggled to hook up a lap round here. I spent an hour and a bit, and I couldn't get below an 18.3, which is pretty crazy. So I was just hitting the curbs all the time. And the thing is as well, I saw some comments on the video yesterday, which is interesting. But these corners, unfortunately, you do need to take as much advantage as you can, and you do have to cut some of them. And sometimes it bumps you off, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's really a bit of a gamble. And the corner I'm talking about the most is this one going through here. You have to commit so much on the brakes. You have to attack most corners. You see, that time it's fine, and that's pretty much perfect. That's exactly how you want to take it. So you can see, as usual, we're just glossing over this first lap, then we're going to dissect it. But yeah, I'd say so far this is the track that took me the longest to get up to speed, but I got there in the end. I came on this morning and this didn't take too long at all. And I feel this setup is very different to Ronha, who is just an absolute beast around here. I remember last game he was doing almost esport pole times on Xbox, which is just nuts. So he's a very talented driver, and I think Monza is probably one of his strongest tracks, which is fair to be said. But yeah, you can see this up here is, I felt quite happy with this. I feel it's definitely capable of getting the world record. It's just hooking everything up, really. I think that's really the difference between Wayne and Ronha around here. He's just very good at hooking it up. The setup I'm using, you'll be able to see, is very, very different, because I tried his and I tried others, but it just felt so understeery for me. But now we're going to dissect the lap and talk you through it. So at the start finish line, we'll be looking at the left hand side, looking at the 100-meter board. So you pass this first board. It's quite an awkward braking zone, but just before the 100-meter board, that's where you want to commit. You have to commit. You have to brake as late as you can. Slowing down through here, you have to take a lot of curb going through it here. You can see almost the entire car is on that curb. If you don't, you just lose so much time. Going through here, immediately turn. Just kiss this left-hander one. Stay tight, don't drift out too wide. Once the wheel's straight, that's when you'll be going on the full throttle. Stay nice and tight to the right-hand side just to minimize the distance of the track. And this one is an absolute nightmare, but again, you have to commit. You can't go slow in, fast out. You have to throw everything at this. So just after the 100-meter board, once it goes out of view, that's when I start braking completely in the straight line. Then you turn in, have to take a lot of curb here, and you can see again, like turn one, pretty much have to take everything here. Otherwise, you're just going to lose so much time. I miss this curb completely. Some people do take it. I miss it completely because I find more than not it's going to bump you straight forward. As you pass the 50-meter board, that's when you're going to be turning in. Carry as much speed as you can on the apex. Again, it's just all about attacking these corners round here. And just after the 50-meter board, that's when you want to do a slight dab of the brake, turn in, up into 5th gear, and use all the track on the exit. And we did that part actually pretty nicely. Now going to Ascari, another very difficult corner on this game. But as you look at the 100-meter board, as you pass that, that's where you want to be braking. So as soon as it goes out of view, we'll take a lot of curb on this inside. You could probably take even more than that. As long as you don't hit the sausage curbs, you're fine. And then as you go into the middle here, take a lot of curb here, but don't go full throttle on this curb. Otherwise, it will auto speed. So if you look at my throttle application, as I'm on the curb, I don't go full throttle. Once I go off it, then I go full throttle. Kiss this curb, but do not hit it. And then we make it through there, and we actually do that again very nicely. Coming to this final corner, I change the brake bias down to 55. As the green part of the track finishes, and then just before this white line, that's when we want to be braking and turning in, throwing it in as much apex speed as you possibly can. Let it drift out on the exit. Stay nice and tight to the right hand side, and we end up eventually getting into the 17s, a 17.9, and I'm actually, again, very happy with that. Only 2 tenths away from Ron Ha. And in a TT, even last game, I was a long way off in TT around here, but you can see the wings. 5 wings. It just works for me around here. 65, 55, and this one here, no rear camber because you don't want it to over rotate. A little bit of the front toe just so you have a high speed grip. 151727. This is exactly the same as Ron Ha's setup. Really, it's just the wings and a little bit of the diff I changed, I believe. And then the brakes are 155. The brakes, when you download the setup, that's when you finish the lap. So some people could use 57. We used it at 57 for the first corner and the first 2 chicanes. Then we used 56 and then 55. If you look through the lap once again, you can see when I change the brake bias throughout the lap, and these are quite general tyre pressures. But yeah, people were using 4.7, and for me, that it just felt so understeery. Sorry, felt very understeery. And around this track, when you go on the medium tyre, they are so slow. You need a car that has a lot more downforce, and for me, this just gave me so much more downforce, and I just had stability as well at the same time. So for me, I couldn't really use that setup. It just didn't work. And that's why I always say you got to find what works for you. I spent some time watching other people's videos of their laps around here just to see how to take the chicanes. And that really helped me before I came back this morning to set another lap. But yeah, this track is a track I don't really enjoy. That was enough for P5 on the leaderboard. So again, I'm quite happy with that. To be that close to a Ron Ha, and in TT and previous games, I wasn't really close to the world record. So it's looking promising so far. The setups feel absolutely amazing for me when I use it online. They all work very, very well. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving this game. I think I can get the world record. It would just take an almost perfect lap for me to do it. I think a 17.6 or 5 is probably not possible for me. And I think that's mainly just down to me just not having the confidence to really hook it up around here. But the setup, give it a try. Let me know what you think. Hope you're enjoying the game, and I will catch you very, very soon. Peace.